Kidblog is a safe and simple way for your students to be able to blog over the internet. So you can sign up for kidblog very easily. I don't know if it takes 20 seconds, it might take a little longer than that. So students will be given an access code once the teachers sign up with creating a username and a secret code. Teachers have the option of using Twitter, Facebook, or Google also to log in. That is another option that you would have. So, KidBlog is one of those blogs where teachers do have complete control. Okay, so what that means is you can set up privacies and know that only your class is reading your class and no one else. I like that also. I also like the privacy in the fact that students have to send their post to me first, and then I will make a decision on whether or not I'm going to post it. So I have the last say on whether it gets out there, kind of help them filter if needed to. So obviously it gives you some ideas how to use KidBlog to create classroom discussions, learn digital citizenship because sometimes what is typed is not always what is meant. Practicing writing skills, they can create an e-portfolio, they can reflect on their learning, and also can give some opportunities for some formative assessive writing, as we know that our OAA or PARC assessments are going to be online eventually, and this will be a great way for students to practice typing into their own way and getting a feel for the keyboard. So KidBlog is for K to 12 teachers, and obviously, like I said, it gives you an opportunity to do your own post, which is really cool. So another cool thing about KidBlog is that you can do it in the computer lab, at home. They can use it on their iPad or even their smartphone. So as more and more classrooms become wireless and kids are having cell phones that are allowed to be used, this is another option because a lot of students do not have a one-to-one initiative in every single classroom. So if they're able to use their own devices, that always makes them happy. So obviously you can help motivate, you can start working on e-portfolios, and you can do all kinds of fun things. I'm obviously already logged in. If I come down to my dashboard here, you can see some of the things that I had created. I obviously do not have an entire class in here yet, but I do have the basics down. Once again, you have a privacy setting that you can go ahead. I would never check all visitors. I'd only use visitors that are either in my class or another class. Maybe it's just for the teacher only, so students may read teachers' posts and parents may read their child's post, but not everybody's. Post approval, obviously this is something that I would check, and I want to approve the post before they would appear. Notify these users whenever a post is awaiting approval or is published. So obviously I would want that checked also. So you can do a couple different things. You can show full text list view and so on. So you can kind of read through here and figure out how you want this to go. Obviously you have a couple different things you can have. You can have the kids use connections through Google Drive or Evernote. Obviously Evernote would be more of an app, and obviously if they're using their phones they would need this, or they can also use from Google, so they can decide how they want it. Since I did change a couple things, I would change what I have going on here. So let's say I want to have a new post. Okay, so I could write anything. I could have them express their thoughts on the Olympics over the last 2 weeks. And they could just write anything. I could put in a video clip to show them something. Who was your favorite in the Olympics might be something that I would ask them, or maybe who stood out or inspired you maybe. So you could get a really quick post right away and go from there. So I could save this because I don't know that I really want to quite post it yet, and they could kind of preview it and go from there. So it kind of gives you all of this here. If I wanted to publish it, obviously I would go ahead and publish it, even though I have some issues, but I obviously could go back and delete some things. So if I wanted to publish, I would go ahead and put this on here. So express their thoughts on the Olympics over the last 2 weeks. Who was your favorite in the Olympics, and who stood out or inspired you? So it would be interesting to see, what kids actually watched the Olympics. I've told them many stories about the Olympics and things like that. I could leave them a comment and maybe put in the disclaimer if you didn't watch the Olympics, who else has inspired you, because maybe not all students did watch the Olympics, and you can kind of go in a different way. If you want to look back on your blog of what's going on, basically you can see it. So as you post it, obviously the kids in your class would be able to respond. Obviously at this point, I wouldn't have anything that was going on as far as visitor stats. It would let me know who was on, who is actually looking at this, and who has actually made some posts. It sounds more confusing than what it really is. I did use kidblog a little bit last year in my classrooms. My kids really enjoyed it. I didn't worry too much about spelling and things like that in the beginning, but as it went on, I got a little more strict with that. I called my one class Purple. When I first created this, it just kind of gives them a little welcome to kidblog. It shows you some different classes that I had assigned. My first class that I had assigned was just called Mrs. Smith's class, and obviously I only had one post and I had 20 users and things like that. So it's just one of those things that you have to kind of get in, jump in, give them a post, and the kids would go ahead and log in, read the post, and then put their thoughts. I think it's a lot of fun. I think the kids would really enjoy it. It is very user friendly. It's just like a blog. You put out your thoughts, and then the kids can discuss about it. And it's an open forum that you have control over, which is really nice. So give it a try. kidblog.org.